Hey guys, this is Frosty and welcome to my channel. Before we begin with the video, I want you guys to push the like button and I'd like you guys to also subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you don't, I'm going to come there and start a new war with you. So yeah, if you don't subscribe, I'm going to start the new war in real life this time. I don't know where I'm going to find the sentients, but I'm going to do it. And support the channel by just liking, that will make the channel grow and that'll be so cool and I'll love that. So yeah, let's get started. So we recently got an update last week, the Warframe Scarlet Spear item that we got as an update. So today is going to be another lore video based on what we saw in the chapter 3 cinematic. In the last video, I briefly hinted at the things that I'm going to be talking about today. In the last video, I just basically reacted to cinematic. So if you want to see that stuff, you can go check that out. So let's look at the stuff that we have today. So it's a theory. So the theory is Natah has been deceived by Erra and Ballas. This will be the first part. So the first point is basically that Ballas seems to be in on the plan that Erra has for Natah and the origin system. Because if you think about it, Ballas smiled when Natah was like, let's end the war. That seemed a bit out of place considering that Ballas is supposed to be a slave in this situation. He's supposed to be suffering at the hands of his creations, and there've been so much poetry eluded in those situations where Ballas is on a chain and he's now being turned into the blasphemies he used to call blasphemies. He's basically becoming that. So when you watch the Chimera prologue and the Erra quest, you can actually see Ballas suffering. But in this video, in the next cinematic, towards the end, it didn't seem like he was suffering. Yeah, that just made the situation even more confusing. But what is it that's actually going on? That's the question, right? So what I think is happening is that Ballas could be playing both sides. Why both sides? Because, well, he knows that the Tenno are powerful and they could actually win the war, and those who actually know media and movies and video games, of course the good guys are going to win. So Ballas, to remedy that side, he's just going to say, you know what, I gave you guys the sword, so I get to live, I get to go on my way. Or if the Tenno lose, if they do that, that'll be cool. If they do it right, that'll be cool. But if the Tenno lose, then Ballas would say that I helped you guys. So yeah, but then that's basically putting it if Ballas wasn't a part of the plan. But if he is part of the plan, then that basically means that it's now confusing. If he's part of the plan of getting rid of the Tenno in the origin system and whatever Erra is planning, then it really doesn't make sense why he gave us the paracesis. So until we get more information, we don't know. But I just think that Ballas has a big part that he's playing with Erra. But the main focus of this theory goes to Erra. Erra might be dead, and I think Hanhao is actually mimicking him. So where is this coming from, and where did I get this idea? So if you play the Natah quest, basically the Natah quest, Erra right now is basically trying to do what Hanhao did in the Natah quest, and some part of the second dream when he was trying to get his daughter on his side. And it seemed very, very familiar in the sense that it seems like it's something that's it's kind of like deja vu basically. So yeah, I think that's one of the weakest points I have to consider as a situation where this could be Hanhao and not Erra. And then the next point, which is a little less significant, but he sidesteps everything that Natah is saying about him dying and all that. Because, well, if you see the cinematic, the Erra quest, he was hit by like 6 to 8 Tenno with void energy, and we all know what that void energy does to those sentients. So Erra is probably dead. But then he keeps sidestepping that, saying that your memories have been messed up. But it doesn't seem like that, because if everything that we've gotten from Natah's story basically points to the possibility that she basically didn't betray us. She basically didn't betray us in the sense that she really did choose to become the Lotus. If she chose to be the Lotus, then how could her memories be messed up? But then they're still pushing the story where the makers made her into the Lotus. So there are two ways of looking at it. But I still believe that Natah becoming the Lotus was not part of the plan. She just basically wanted kids, like they say. I like to believe that. So I think Natah, maybe Erra did something to Natah's memories, and now saying, remember, Hanhao has some sort of access to her memories and her mind, basically. So he could have done something, and maybe that something that he's doing is no longer being enough. So now we're going to move on to the more important part of this theory, is that Erra wants her to use the connection that she has with her mother. But the question that then lies here is that isn't Erra also the son of the mother? And wouldn't he have that same type of connection, considering that if dating each other, there's a high chance that they might have, since it's a computer, they might have kind of the same code if they replicate, because that's what they're basically doing. They're not giving birth like human beings. They're basically replicating themselves, then calling them children. That's what I think. That's a theory. That's a theory. So if that's the case, why doesn't Erra have the same connection to the mother? Because it doesn't make sense unless Hannah was a very, very naughty daddy, but I highly doubt that. So there's a chance that this reinforces that Erra is dead, and this is actually Hannah, because Hannah wouldn't have that connection, because if Hannah was created by Ballas and the other Orokin, at the same time the mother was created by the same Orokin, then that means these are two different programs that, well, two different programs and machines that have specific jobs, so they would be totally different in their design and their way they work. So Hannah wouldn't be able to do what the mother could do. So what is the best solution to this? Mimic Natah's brother and then try to force her to do what he wants her to do, and maybe it's starting the war. I highly think that it's starting the war. So this could mean that Erra is dead, because, well, it doesn't make sense why he really wants her to use the connection that she has with the mother when he's also a spawn of her. So yeah, that's the theory. So then the second theory, a shorter theory basically, is it comes with a question. Where is Teshin? Because if you load up Scarlet Spear, if you go to the relay and you go speak to Little Duck mentions something that's really interesting, that she tried to warn Teshin of what's coming. So I'll play the clip.
I deal with all sorts. Low breeds and the highborn. Everyone wants something they're not supposed to have. But these days, it's a buyer's market. And what's selling is stuff that'd get a girl buried. Sentient stuff. And it's been coming in by the wagon load. My crowd had these Murex rumbled months ago. But then old mate Teshin wasn't having it. Tried warning him, but you know the type. But now it's all, tell me all that you know, and your expertise is required, and I'm a hoity-toity sod with a hat like a designer bedpan. Should have kept me trap shut. I'm no general, but here we are, and I know what I know. So you listen to what I have to say, and we'll all be home in time for tea. Yeah, no worries.
So as you can hear here is that Teshin basically ignored what Lil Duck was trying to tell him, and now that the sanctions are coming, she mentions that he's now annoying her, so she regrets even telling him. But that begs the question, now where is he? If this is something that is worrying him, why isn't he said anything to us? Or why is he not doing anything that we can actually see that this is Teshin doing something? And that begs the question, maybe Teshin is actually out here fighting the sanctions on his own and using his own methods. Maybe he has his own plan that he's going to introduce the plan to us when he's 100% sure that the plan would work, or maybe if he's fully refined the plan. I mean, there's a lot of holes here. Even Lil Doug mentions a part where she basically says, don't ask me why I got the relay, just do the job. What if Teshin got to the relay? I mean, Teshin, sure, if you go to the conclave, you're going to find Teshin there. That's the game. It's a place where you have to go in the game. So it won't make sense just to see Teshin gone. Unless if they want to push the plot that deep, which I highly doubt they'll do that. So if you go to the conclave, you'll find Teshin. But I'm talking about what he's actually doing with the story, because that's not part of the story. So yeah, that's a theory I've got. Maybe he has something to do with Lil Duck getting a relay, and he's out there making a plan, fighting for us and all that. So yeah, that's the theory I got for the new war, the latest theory that I have cooked up. If you want to see the other theory videos, you can check out my videos. I'm going to link all of the theory videos on the top there, so you can click there. And the next video I'm planning to make is basically about the Grineer possibly joining the Tenno against the Sentients. So you guys better look forward to that, because the theory is kind of crazy and I love crazy. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna be signing out, so enjoy the rest of your day. I know I will, so bye.